Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, right, I want to face the east. And I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, or HaKadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who grow well and teach well. Through the power of the Spirit for teaching me the 100% truth according to the scriptures. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, the brothers and the rare few sisters who are walking in this truth with all sincerity and meekness, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability, but most importantly of all, having faith in the name of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, and enduring upon his return. Lord willing, this be a short and edifying lesson to the flock, to the flock of Israel, right? The so-called black, Spanish, and Native American man and woman who, according to Bible prophecy, we fit the description as the chosen nation of God, of the Most High Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, in the name of His only begotten Son. So, Lord willing, it's a short, edifying lesson to the flock. Well, it's not really a lesson, it's more of a testimony, but there's edification behind this testimony, right? So, and I say this because, it's been on my spirit to talk about this, but I really wasn't, trying to talk about it, but, for edification's sake, right? Proving that the scriptures is true, proving that the Lord, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, does exist, man. Through the scriptures, man. He exists. He fulfills our hope, So this is for edification purposes, man, And it was, I'm not going to say, it's not a testimony about my life or nothing like that. It's more of a vision, right? Because, I'm pretty sure people, will scoff, right, and say, oh, you only dream those things, right? Because of what you're reading, right? People will think that. People will say, well, yeah, of course you're going to dream of apocalypse happening. Of course you're going to dream of the end of the world. Of course you're going to dream of God returning and this, because you're reading the Bible. That's all you're reading. So, of course you're going to dream these things, right? And to those that really don't know the scriptures, man, those that aren't really rooted in the faith, that might be a stumbling block to them, right? It might, because it sounds like it, right? But, and this is the whole point that I want to bring this testimony out, this lesson, this vision, right? Because it proves, man, it proves that the Lord exists. It proves that his words are faithful and true, man. Right? The whole book, it proves it. So, someone can say that, like, oh, because of what you're reading and constantly meditating, and of course you're going to dream these things. But that's not so, because, let me just get straight to it, right? Well, this has happened, this is before I woke up. This is before the Lord woke me up. Before he woke me up in the truth, right? I woke up in the truth towards the end of 2020. Well, I'm not going to say I woke up. The Lord has quickened me, right? The Lord has woke me up. And towards, like, if I'm not mistaken, either the end of July or beginning of August, something like that. But it was definitely end of July, beginning of August 2020. It was around there in the summertime. So I remember I just moved from my mother's house to another apartment before I came here to this one. So anyways, so this is before the Lord has quickened me, right? I'm talking about 2 years prior to 2020. This was before COVID and everything. I've read the scriptures a while ago with no understanding, right? And I wasn't someone to read the Bible every day, let alone every week, So, obviously, there's no reason why I would think of anything at that time, right? But I do know I was going through personal things and personal stuff in life, right? And long story short, man, that night, it was in the year 2018. I remember this clearly, man. Remember this clearly. 2018, either the beginning of 2018, something like that, right? I was living in a room. I was renting a room, and I remember that night, man. And this, and I only have spoken this dream, this vision to my close relatives, right? To my wife, and because she was with me at the time. She was with me at the time. She was sleeping right next to me. To my wife, and to obviously my mother, my brother. Obviously my immediate family, right? That's the only people I mention this to. So, anyways, this how it goes. I was sleeping, and all of a sudden I'm like, it's like a dream, right? It's like a vision, it's like a straight dream. I'm dreaming that, but it felt so real, man. I didn't see no bodies, I didn't see myself, nothing like that. It was all like if it was happening in my mind. It was all pitch black, right? And I saw like I wouldn't say. See, at that moment, before reading the scriptures, it looked at like lights, right? Like, you ever seen those lava lamps, right? It looked at something like that, right? But it was of all types of colors, like red and yellow, orange colors that I really didn't see ever, right? It was all a mixture, and it was just like an energy right there, right? Just like being. Right, and in this dream, I knew who that was. I knew who it was. I knew it was Yahawah. It was Yahawah, man. In this dream, it was the Lord, man. And I felt that and it wasn't like he said, "Oh, I'm God." It was just a thought. Like, I knew what I was seeing, because I can't really explain it, man. But I knew it was the Lord. Something in my mind, in my dream, told me it was God, right? And I'm gonna bring scriptures out to prove this, man. Because see, now with the understanding that the Lord BAHASHAM has gave me, it makes sense that dream. So, anyways, so it was like a energy, a light, right? Like red and yellow and all of this, right? And I knew that it was the Lord. I knew it was YAHAWAH, right? Even if he didn't say, "I'm God," he didn't say anything. It was just a thought that I thought, that basically like a telepathy, whatever, like it was a feeling I had that confirmed it, man, that this is God, right? So, anyways, so I see this light, right? This looks like a fire, right? Now that I read the scriptures, it looks like a fire. That's how a fire looks. If you light up a fire in the like when you go camping and you light up the woods and a fire and you see the fire, that's how it looked, like a fire, right? So then after I see that, I feel this rhythm. It's like music, man, right? It was a rhythm, man. It was no music. It wasn't no guitars or no cellos or no violins. No, it wasn't none of that. It was like the sound of my heart. It was the sound of my heart, and it was like my heart and that fire were together in unison, man, like in one rhythm. And it was playing a rhythm, right? A song, man. It was playing a song. The most beautiful song I've ever heard, man, but I've never heard it. It was a song I couldn't even describe. It was just a rhythm. It was just a rhythm, man. It was a rhythm that it was just so, it was, I remember telling my wife, when I woke up that same night, I told her, I was like, "Yo, God exists, right?" And I told my mother too the next day, and I told them, I was like, man, I felt my heart basically in one connection with this energy. And it was beating at the same time, the same rhythm, not missing one step, not one beat. It was beating in unison, man. In one of mine, one accord. And it was the most beautifulest rhythm I've ever felt and heard in my life, man, right? I remember telling them that. So anyways, going back to the dream, right? And I feel this rhythm and it's playing, right? And I have felt this peace, man, that I've never felt, a peace, that everything, basically, man, it was a peace I've never felt in my life, man. No peace that my kids can't bring me. No peace my woman can't bring me. No peace that nothing on this earth, man, can ever feel that comfort I felt for that moment. It seemed like eternity, right? But it couldn't have been that long because I woke up that same night, right? It was just a comfort, man, that I know that I will never feel again. You know, at that moment when I had the dream, when I woke up, I knew I would never feel that peace I've ever felt, right, again. Because it's just, you ever heard the saying, like, that, like, you know, you can't find the words to describe it? It's to this point, I cannot find the words to describe what I seen and felt, man. I can't, to this point. It was an experience that I will out of this world, man. You know, it was the most, man, listen. Not even my kids can bring me that happiness, man. And that right there means a lot, man. That shows a lot. That without this truth, man, we will be right back where we was at, right? Right back where we was at. So yeah, so you know that's let me see if I'm leaving anything out. Not really, man. That's it. That's it. I saw, you know, it was quick, simple, but so profound, man. So deep. Something that I've never felt, man, or experienced, you know. And like I said, man, that vision, I knew what I was feeling. I knew that was YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Not at that moment, I didn't know the name of the Lord, you feel me? Because it was in 2020. I didn't know the name of the Lord, but I knew that it was a greater power than me. I knew it was something greater than me, right? That I definitely knew. I knew it was God, man. I knew it was God, because only God can bring you that peace, man, right? Like the scriptures say, you know, the Lord can give you peace and rest. That's what I felt, you know, pertaining to whatever I was going through, personal problems at that time. So, you know, and the rhythm of, I felt in one mind, one accord, man, with the Lord that night, in that dream, you know, and it's crazy, right? Because after that, you know, I knew God existed, but without knowledge and, you know, without knowledge, I didn't know anything more. I just knew he existed, but I knew he existed, man. I knew he was real, but I just didn't know how to go about it, right? So I continued, kept living my life how I was living, you know. Long story short, speed it up to 2020, July, or beginning of August. That's when the YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, you know, quickened me in the spirit and woke me up, man. And woke me up, you know. And obviously at that time when he woke me up, I didn't think about that dream, right? But later on, as I kept reading and kept being built in the spirit, that dream always came back in mind, and that dream made sense, right? That dream made sense, man. It made sense, you know. And right, so it made sense, man. At that time, I didn't know it was a fire, but it was the Lord, man. I listened. Now I'm gonna bring scriptures up, right? Proving, man, proving that the Lord exists, proving that just because I'm reading the scriptures now, that's not the reason why brothers or me or any brothers receive visions or dreams, right? Because like I was saying, right before the Lord woke me up, I had this dream, and I never read the scriptures, you know, like I do now, right? So how can I dream of that, right? Unless the Lord gives you that dream, and with the scriptures we're gonna prove it, man. So I'm gonna go straight to. Let me go to the book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 1. All right, Exodus chapter 3, verse 1. So 3:1, Exodus chapter 3, verse 1. Right. So let me see. I'm gonna read the NLT version. It says, one day Moses was tending the flock of his father-in-law Jethro, the priest of Midian. Right. This was talking about Moses. Now I'm not saying I'm Moses, man. You know, because people will take this and be like, "Oh, so what you saying, you Moses?" I'm not saying that. You know, I'm definitely not saying that. You know, but the point I'm trying to bring out is that these scriptures, man, they are truth and life, man. These words, man, are vivid. These words are life, right? That's the point. So it says, one day Moses was tending the flock of his father-in-law, Jethro, the priest of Midian. He led the flock far into the wilderness and came to Sinai, the mountain of God, the mountain of Yahawah, BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Verse 2, there the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a blazing fire from the middle of a bush. You know, now this is what reminded me of that dream, that vision. That, you know, the Lord appeared to me that night, man, in my dreams. Was it an actual fire? No, it wasn't an actual fire, but it resembled the fire, right? That's just like a lot of times when the prophets describe roles, right? Roles in the sky. Is it, you know, that's the best ability they can describe a chariot as a role, right? So they describe everything to the best of their ability of what they see that day, right? So obviously in that dream, I thought it was a light. I thought it was like an energy or something. But reading the scriptures, man, it was a fire, right? Because look, here's the point. Is it an actual fire? Here's the look. So anyway, verse 2, there the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a blazing fire from the middle of a bush. Moses stared in amazement. Though the bush was engulfed in flames, it didn't burn up, man. You see, that bush did not burn up. And thinking back to that dream, to that vision that night, man, it resembled a fire. You know, it resembles a fire. Verse 3, this is amazing, Moses said to himself. Why isn't that bush burning up? I must go see it. Verse 4, when the Lord, Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, saw Moses coming to take a closer look, Yahawah called to him from the middle of the bush, Moses, Moses. You see? He called to him from the middle. And that's the same way, like, in that same night, when I saw that energy, that fire, it's like the Lord called on to me. Like, I'm Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, right? Right? You know, it could have been an angel, but he's coming in the name of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, man. Right? It's the same thing. It says, Yahawah called to him from the middle of the bush, Moses, Moses. Here I am, Moses replied. Verse 5, do not come any closer, the Lord warned. Take off your sandals, for you are standing on holy ground. Verse 6, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. You see? So back, you know, the point that I was trying to prove, right? The point that I'm trying to prove reading that is that, you know, reading this, I can go back, man, and see, oh man, that definitely was the Lord, man. You know, because through the scriptures, man, through the scriptures, right, we get builded up in faith more and more through reading, you know. You know, so now I understand that, you know, that's what that night, that energy, so-called energy, resembled, which it was the Lord, man. It resembled a fire, a burning fire. Now, I wasn't in no bush. I wasn't walking down the street and I seen, no. But the Lord made me see that in my dreams, in my vision while I was asleep. Like the scriptures say, man. Let me grab that real quick. Let me grab that. Job 33. Job chapter 33. Right? Start at verse Salakia 15. Job chapter 33, verse 15. Let me see if I could read 15, right? This is the book of Job, chapter 33, verse 15. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed, right? When you're sleeping in your bed, man, deep sleep. In the night, man, in the vision, in your dream. Then he openeth the ears of men. Who's the E, man? Who is it speaking about? This is speaking about YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, man. That's who is speaking about. That's the he. Then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instructions. You see, he basically whispers in their mind, gives them visions and dreams, and seals their instructions, man, for whatever it is. For what it could be other things too. It can be things where you're gonna get up and do the next day, right? And this goes both ways, man. The Lord can send even evil spirits, man, to people and whisper things, and they'll get up the next day, get up and go and kill somebody, right? But the point of in this lesson, man, this is we're talking about the Lord, man, showing himself to me, you know, which the Lord does that with all the prophets, you know. I'm pretty sure, man, a lot of brothers out there in this truth, man, has had visions and dreams, man. I know they have. Going back, verse 16. Then he opened the ears of men and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. You see that? Withdraw that man from whatever he was doing. He keepeth back his soul from the pit, and his life from perishing by the sword. You see that? You see that, man? The Lord, man, the Lord that night showed me he existed. He showed me. Even though I wasn't somebody in the truth yet, the Lord didn't wake me up to his name, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. The Lord didn't tell me who I was. He didn't reveal to me that I was an Israelite or none of that. But I know for sure, man, after that night, I started seeking the Lord. I started seeking him. I was like, because I felt somewhere, I felt it, that he exists. I just didn't know where to look until the Lord, you know, revealed his truth. You know, but I know for sure, man, I was seeking him after that night. You know, obviously in some wrong places too, you know, because I was seeking him without knowledge. Anyways, it says, then he opened it. I'm going to go back to verse 17. That he may withdraw man. You know, and that word withdraw, it's like pull back. You know, let's look it up real quick. You see, to turn aside, depart, to be removed. You see? So it says that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. He keepeth back his soul from the pit, you know, from the grave, man. You know, and this is what the Lord has delivered, you know, a lot of us brothers from. He has delivered us from the grave, man, from the pits, right? From death, man, death and sin. It says he keepeth back his soul from the pit and his life from perishing by the sword, man. You know, because a lot of us brothers was living the wrong way, man. A lot of us brothers, before the Lord decided to wake us up in his truth, man, we was living foul, the wrong way, where we could have been put to death by the Lord, man. You know, but the Lord goes and he shows us himself. He shows himself to us, right, in the spirit. And he draws us back from that grave, man. And he gives us life in his spirit. You know? If I read the NLT version, this is what it says. Look. Job chapter 33, verse 15. He speaks in dreams, in visions of the night, when deep sleep falls on people as they lie in their beds. He whispers in their ears and terrifies them with warnings. He makes them turn from doing wrong, man. He keeps them from pride. He protects them from the grave, from crossing over the river of death. You see that, man? That's what the Lord does, man. That's what the Lord does. Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Call Allah Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, man. You know, because that's truth, man. That's truth. Now you see how this you know, I see it, man. Clearly, clear as day, I see it today. How that night, that dream with no understanding of what it meant. Now I read the scriptures, man, and I get understanding. I see what it means. I see, and not only do I see it, man, but that builds you up in the faith, man. It confirms that these words are true. It confirms that the Lord Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI exists. You know, like in the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 104, man. Psalms 119, verse 104. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 104. I'm going to start at verse 3. How sweet are thy words unto my taste. Yes, and the words of the Lord is sweet, man. Beautiful. Yeah, sweeter than honey to my mouth. Through thy precepts, you see, through thy precepts, through these words, I get understanding. Therefore, I hate every false way, man. You see that? We get understanding every time we read, and when the Spirit reveals more and more to you. That's because the Lord wants to reveal more and more to you, you know? And we get understanding through these precepts, man. This is now why that night when I dreamed of that vision, now I understand. I understand fully what it was. At that moment when I had it that night, all I knew was that God exists. That's all I knew, you know? And I didn't know that that same vision that night was in the scriptures, man. And I didn't know that the Lord was going to prove that. And he did, man. And he did. He is constantly proving every day that he exists. You know? And let me grab Psalms chapter 144, verse 9. Right? Because remember, man, I also mentioned the rhythm, right? I mentioned the song. Right? And it wasn't a song of music like a guitar and drums or a piano or no. It wasn't nowhere near that. It was just a song of heart. It was like my heart was thumping and beating with that same with Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI's heart. Right? We was beating on one accord, man. We was beating the same rhythm. And it was a song I've never heard. It was man, listen, that song brought me so much peace and comfort. You know, I've never heard that song. Anyway, Psalms chapter 144, verse 9. It says, Psalms chapter 144, verse 9. I will sing a new song unto thee, O God, Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Upon a psaltery and an instrument of 10 strings will I sing praises unto thee. Right? Now this new song that we're singing is this word, man. And this is the new song we're singing unto thee, to the Lord, man. This is the new song, giving him praises, right? You know, and going back to that, man, because that was the new song I heard. It was a song I never heard before, man. Right? Let me see if I grab it real quick right here. Right here, Psalms chapter 40, verse 3, man. See, because the Lord sung to us first. The Lord sung to us first. And now we're singing back that song. He has taught us this song, you know, through deeper and deeper, right, through the men of the Lord, man. Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, starting with the apostles and the elders who great millstone, right? Through the teachers, right? The apostles and bishops, right? We learn from them because the Lord is still. See, ever since that night when the Lord revealed himself to me in the vision, I started seeking him. Obviously, I was seeking in the wrong places, but I kept seeking and seeking until the Lord revealed himself onto me in summer of 2020. You know, obviously, he revealed himself. I knew the name. You know, I was still, okay, I'm an Israelite. I woke up to the truth. I know who I am. You know, I was listening to other camps, but I still kept seeking the Lord, man. I still kept seeking him until the Lord brought me to the apostles and the elders and bishops of Great Millstone. And that's when I knew. That's when the Lord told me in the spirit, this is it. This is where truth lies, man. Right? That's how I knew. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 40, verse 3. Right? It says, and he hath put a new song in my mouth. You seeing who's the new song? Who is the he that put this new song in our mouths? The Lord, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. He has put a new song in my mouth, even praises unto our power, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Many shall see it and fear, and shall trust in the Lord, man. You see, man? And that's the Lord, man. And it makes sense that night. That new song that I never heard, man. That beautiful song, right? It was the Lord putting that song in my mind, in my spirit, you know, and leading me out of the miry clay, taking me, you know, out of the darkness into the light. You know, henceforth, you know, speed it up. That's what being here today, man. You know, and these scriptures, man. These scriptures don't lie. These scriptures are faithful and true, man. And then, you know, they're true. And I'm going to finish it off with Romans chapter 15, verse 4, man. Romans, right, chapter 15, verse 4. It says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime, you see that before, were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope. You see that? Might have hope, man. And through reading these scriptures, we get understanding. And by getting understanding, man, you know, we learn. And not only do we learn, man, we have more faith. He builds us up in the faith more and more. Why? Because he is showing us through the Spirit that these words, man, are life. That these words are alive. That these words are faithful and true. You know? You know, so, you know, I just wanted to share that, man. Because it's been on my mind to share that. But, you know, I'm not that type to go, you know, but it's been on my mind heavy to share that. So, you know, whatever the Spirit is asking to do, I'm going to do it. You know, Lord willing, this was edifying. Lord willing, somebody can learn something from this, you know, and through the Spirit of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, right? First and foremost, you know. So, Lord willing, man, this was edifying to the flock of Israel, man. You know, starting with the 144 brothers, you know, the 144, man, that are out there doing the work of the Lord, man. You know, stay strong and stay fighting in the faith, man. Because as we see, man, these days is numbered. These days is getting closer and closer to the Lord returning back pretty soon. You know, so you know, until next time, Shalom.